Hey guys, in this video I'll show you exactly how I made $4,000 in 28 days with full stack copywriting as a complete beginner. I'm going to break down the exact skill I picked, the outreach, the scripts, and everything that allowed me to land my first 4K per month client. Now for context, my name is Priyank. I'm a full stack copywriter. I've been doing this for the past 3 years, and the story I'm going to share in this video, guys, is what happened to me 3 years ago when I was completely broke and literally signed my very first 4K per month copywriting client online. So here's the setup. That's a picture of me in 2022, right before signing my first client. This was about 2 weeks prior to signing my very first client. At this point, I was 25, and at the moment this pic was taken, I was actually cold outreaching to find some copywriting clients. I was working late nights, early morning, but I had zero results and I was completely broke, guys. Now the cool thing is that I had an edge that allowed me to push through this and still get some results. And that edge was that I was willing to do anything to get that very first client. So when it comes to the skills I had at this point before making my first 4K per month online, the first skill I had was email copywriting. I wasn't a master at it. I didn't follow any courses. The only thing I did was that I just read books about copywriting. And to be honest, you don't really need to be a copywriting master in order to make 1 to 4K per month online, all right? So the only thing I did was that I read books like Cash Advertising, Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards, Scientific Advertising by Claude Hopkins. I was also reading a few copywriting newsletters, and that was it. Now I had a second skill at this point, which is a lot more important than copywriting. And that skill is that I was able to understand info products funnels architecture. What do I mean by that? You see, before finding my first client, I knew that I wanted to work for people who sell online courses, the so-called infopreneurs. But I also knew that if I wanted to work for these people, man, I would need to do more than just copywriting. So what I did is that I started studying how their entire business model works. And to do that, it all comes down to just being a good observer and understanding the principles these businesses use. So once again, I didn't follow any courses to learn that. The only thing I did was just watching YouTube videos and do what I'm about to share in this video right now. So you see, at that point, I was constantly getting targeted by gurus, ads, and courses. You know, guys who make ads about how they make money with dropshipping, Amazon FBA, like all that stuff, right? And what I would do is that instead of just skipping the ads, I would literally opt in their funnel. I would click the ad. I would sign up to their newsletter. I would like the ad, comment the ad, and just get curious about what was being done in the market. And this allowed me to comprehend the differences between what was a VSL, a webinar, a low ticket, just understand the basics of a welcome email sequence. And overall, I just got a basic understanding of marketing fundamentals. All right. Now, quick tip, if you guys want to do the same thing, as I said, I didn't follow any course to get that knowledge at that point. What I did is that I literally just use Facebook and Instagram to my advantage. So a quick tip for you, you can literally hack your own feed to turn Facebook and Instagram into a funnel hunting machine. You see, whenever you're scrolling on social media, you're going to get targeted by ads. Typically what happens is that every time you scroll, every fourth post or so is going to be an ad. And what I did is that anytime I saw an ad from a guru or an info business, I didn't just scroll or just skip the ad. What I did is that I literally clicked the ad, I liked the ad, I commented the ad, and I opted in their funnel. I would literally go through the landing page, read the landing page, I would click the call to action button, I would leave my information, my first name, my email address so that they have it and they can start sending me emails. I would also read their newsletters, and I would make sure to just comment the ad. What this does is that basically you're training the algorithm to think that you're a horny little fanboy for every single info product offer out there. So if you do exactly that, guess what's going to happen? You're literally going to get flooded with ads and nonstop funnels about these type of offers. You're going to constantly get flooded with VSLs, webinar, low ticket offers, and all that stuff. So that's what I did. And every time I saw an ad from a content creator or a guru or like an online course seller, what I would do is that I literally go through it like a detective. I would click the ad, try to understand their angle, the copywriting structure behind their ads, try to take a look at their funnel, read their emails, and literally I had one rule, which was never skipping ads, watching them until the end, just so I could understand how this works. So instead of fighting the algorithm, because I know it could be annoying whenever you're trying to watch a YouTube video and you just get interrupted by a 5 to 10 second ad, I literally just took the opportunity and I turned it into my free education system. And that's it. So at this point, before making my first 4K per month online, 2 weeks prior to this, the only thing I had was that I only knew to 1, write emails, and 2, understand the fundamentals of online marketing. And to be honest, guys, to make your first 3 to 4K per month online, you don't need that much more. And the skills I had at this point could be acquired in 1 to 2 months. Now, when it comes to the outreach strategy, what did I do to reach out to that very first client? So the main platform was Instagram. I wasn't doing cold emails. I wasn't doing LinkedIn, none of that. The only thing I was doing was Instagram. The method that I was using was video DM. While everybody was focusing on sending text messages, what I would do is that I would only focus on video DMs. When it comes to the volume, I was sending about 10 a day, and the niche that I picked was coaches or offer owners in the e-com space. So all these people who sell a course about how to make it with drop shipping, how to make money online with e-commerce, how to make money online with Amazon FBA, all that stuff. The countries I targeted were US, France, and Canada. And there's a nuance here, guys. The reason I'm able to target France and Canada is because I'm fortunate enough to speak a lot of different languages. I think I speak like 6 or 7 languages. French being one of those languages I completely mastered, so I would feel pretty comfortable writing copy in that language. Anyway, I'll talk about that later in the video. So when it comes to the mental framework, I think I found like a quote somewhere, I read something somewhere, I think it was Alex Ramosi, that said that when you combine volume plus consistency, this equals opportunity, which means that if you take an action a lot of times for long enough, this will end up resulting in more opportunities. So even though I wasn't getting that many responses, the ones I was getting were giving me positive feedback, and people that were ghosting me were interpreted as feedback as well. So I just took notes, did better for the next ones, and tried to understand why this guy didn't reply, why this guy didn't reply, what worked, what didn't, and I would just take note and track. So I would just take notes and track the data. Now, here's some quick examples of the outreach videos that I would send on Instagram. The first 2 ones are in the French market, and the last one is in English. And they all worked, to be honest. I ended up working with these three people. So the framework is the same. What I would do is that I would literally send them a video with a hook. The hook being me filming my computer where I just have their landing page open. And usually I would point at their face for the first like 1 second in the video and immediately flip the camera and pitch them. And that's the exact same framework I use in these 3 outreaches. So this guy just replied, "Yes, Priyank, that sounds good. Would definitely be open to this. What do you have in mind? Thanks." This guy replied, "Hey, Priyank, I'm interested. Let's book a call together and talk about it." And this guy just said, "Hey, I'm in." And then we ended up booking a call. So these are just for example purposes, but they actually happen. Now, pro tip. If you're bilingual, I just talked about me being fortunate enough to speak multiple languages. One of the biggest edges I had, guys, is that I speak French and English perfectly. So while everybody and their mom was fighting for scraps in the US, UK market, I was out there sliding into French entrepreneurs' DM, cleaning house. And the reason I was doing that is because there's way less competition with the same money. So if you speak another language that maps to a rich country, for example, I don't know, you speak Spanish, German, Dutch, Italian, you basically get to skip the red ocean and play in a blue one. Obviously, if your second language is something where business owners aren't making bank, like for example, if you come from a third world country, then obviously the business owners you're going to target are probably not going to make that much money and not going to be able to afford a 4K per month copywriter. But if you're fortunate enough to speak the languages from the rich countries, then totally go for it. It's like the best thing to do. Now, step 2, how a simple 52-second video outreach completely changed my life. Now, the video outreach I sent there completely changed my life, guys. The person I reached out to was this guy, Cyril Ortega. He's a multiple 7-figure entrepreneur in the info e-com space. He's literally crushing it with e-commerce courses and coaching programs. And what I offered in my outreach was that I told him, "Hey, I saw you had an email list." And what I offered in my cold outreach was that I offered him to rewrite his email sequence and make my emails compete against his emails. And if mine performed better, then I'd love to get a testimonial and maybe work together long term. And if they didn't, then we'd just move on. Now, here's the catch. He did accept my offer. I did write emails for him for free in exchange for that testimonial. But the problem was that his emails outperformed mine. I was so confident in my copywriting skills that I thought I could beat his emails. But it didn't happen. And at this point, most beginners would have packed their shit and cried into their pillow and told themselves, "I'm not good enough," and literally quit. And here's where one of the most important skills in business comes into play: resilience. Literally having the ability to stand back up whenever you get punched in the face. And instead of folding, I literally doubled down. I told myself, all right, if I can't beat him at just writing copy, I'll literally show him that I can think bigger than words. I can do more than just copywriting. And that's where the concept of full stack copywriting comes into play. So what I did is that I pulled apart his funnel like a mechanic opened up an engine. I found a bottleneck in this funnel, which was that a lot of people were watching his VSL, but almost nobody was booking a call. And I decided to pitch him the idea of hammering that list daily with call to action emails to patch the leak and literally book more calls with those dead leads. Now remember guys, in the beginning of this video, I talked to you guys about the 2 skills I had before signing my very first client. The first one being email copywriting, and the second skill being understanding info products funnel architecture. And that's exactly where it came into play. That one pivot completely changed everything, because instead of just writing words on a Google Docs, I was now about to create the entire strategy for my client, which is a lot more valuable. Now, the lesson I learned in that stage was that even if your writing isn't the best yet, like let's say your copywriting is mediocre, you kind of suck at copywriting, that's not what decides whether you win or lose. What sets you apart is the fact that you can think like a strategist, not just a keyboard monkey. The ability to go all in with the business owner like it's your business on the line, and also proving you're a true killer. Soldier strong, ride or die, whatever it takes. Because clients, guys, they don't just want someone who can blindly write their emails. They want a partner who can help them print and who's hungry AF. So if you show up with that mindset, like I'll do whatever it fucking takes to make this work, you instantly stop being just another copywriter and you become that person that has the potential to charge 3 to 4K per month. Now, after sending my outreach, after having that failure of a free trial where my client's emails actually performed better than mine, and I was like, if his email performed better than mine, then how am I going to sign him as a client? But still, he agreed to hop on a second call with me, a call where I was literally going to pitch him my offer. So step 3, the 4K sales call. Now, that's where shit is getting real, guys. After grinding DMs for weeks, sending hundreds and hundreds of outreaches, I finally had someone interested. And now I had to actually talk to him about my offer live on a call. And bro, I'm not going to lie, guys. My biggest fear before that call was, what the fuck am I going to say during that call? What questions do I need to ask? Do I need to present my offer immediately? Do I need to ask questions first? How do I structure that call? How do I manage to have enough leadership during that call? What if he says it's too expensive? How am I going to handle the objections, right? And I was literally sweating bullets before hitting join meetings. So what did I do? I pulled the laziest, smartest move possible. I stole Hormozy's playbook. He's got a video on his channel. I think it's still live to this day. You can probably find it online somewhere. In this video, he breaks down the closer framework, and I just modeled my entire sales call around that. Basically, that closer framework is a structure you could follow for any sales call that you have. Doesn't matter the niche you're in. And if you follow that structure correctly and you have a killer offer, then you're going to end up closing the deal. And so what I did is that I went through the entire process. I took notes. I crafted my own sales pitch based off of Alex Hormozy's framework. And then we had a call. And during that call, I was able to go through the entire process. And I presented my offer for 4K per month as a full stack copywriter. By the way, guys, if you want to have access to the exact offer I sent to this client that allowed me to make 4K per month as a complete beginning full stack copywriter, that's the type of stuff I share in my private email list, and you have the link in the description box down below. Now, once I presented my offer to the client during that call, they hesitated and told me they needed to discuss it together with his partner. So we ended the call and I was like, I didn't close it, man. I didn't close. I was so close. But once again, another failure. Then 10 minutes later, I just got a message, which was him. And here in this message, he's literally saying, yo, Priyank, we're aligned and ready to roll with you. Let's test this for a month, and if it works, we'll go long term. That was it, guys. June 9th, 2022, I had closed my very first 4K per month full stack copywriting client, and it took me 28 days to achieve this, guys. I literally went back on my Stripe account to find the payment, and I still have it to this day. As you guys can see, I collected the payment on June 13th, 2022. And yeah, literally that was the happiest day of my life, to be honest. It felt even better than losing your virginity. It felt even better than benching 225 for the first time. And I was the happiest man on the planet, guys. Now, key lessons here. Even though my copywriting skills were not great at that point, the fact that I positioned myself as a full stack and offered to help on other parts of the business than just copywriting allowed me to close the client. So have resilience when things don't go as planned, over deliver, and be more than just a copywriter. And you're literally going to print online. Step 4, the snowball effect. So remember, guys, at this point, I just closed my client. Now I have another problem. I need to make sure I can keep the client, because if you look back on the message he sent me, he just said, let's test this for a month. And if it works, we'll go long term. But my main question was, how am I going to make this work? So during that first month with the client, I was literally obsessed with this business. thinking about his business under the shower, when I was at the gym. Like basically every single one of my waking hours were spent thinking about that client's business. I was obsessed with it because I knew that oftentimes in business and in the game, one opportunity unlocks a bigger one. So if I could pull this off, I knew this was going to turn into something big. And after that first month, the results were really fucking solid. I took a screenshot here for reference, but these aren't from the first month with the client, but just to show you guys an example of the type of results I was bringing to that client. I think the first month we ended up making an extra like 50K in sales. So yeah, it's one of the best investments for that client. He invests 4K in my full stack copywriting and he nets an extra 50K at the end of that month, which is like a 12x ROI, which is just crazy. So yeah, they loved working with me so much that I actually upsold the client to 6K per month and we ended up working together for 18 months, guys. So after that first month with that client at 4K per month, the next month I was already making 6K per month with that client. And I kept that client on that $6,000 per month deal for more than 18 months, guys. And at some point, he even invited me to his house in LA. Like, here's a screenshot of just him telling me that he just booked my flight. Flight is booked, check your SMS and email. And I ended up getting flight out to Los Angeles to just meet him. It was my first time in LA, one of the sickest places on earth. And I had the opportunity to visit that place thanks to my client. So here's a quick photo of us in Laguna Beach, I think, somewhere near Los Angeles. And yeah, that was like literally one of the best days of my life. So to be honest, guys, the key lesson here isn't even the LA trip. It's that one client can completely change your life's trajectory. And that client is also now a great friend of mine, which is pretty cool. So step 5, the power of full stack copywriting. As I said, guys, most people try to make money online with copywriting. And the problem is that everybody and their mom can be a copywriter nowadays. And if the only things you have to offer is just writing words on a document, then AI will replace you. And one thing that I can tell you for sure, based on what I see from my students, from my own experience, and also from people following the channel, is that making money with just copywriting, so just writing words on a Google Docs or just writing emails, it's over, guys. It's already happening. There's just too much competition, and it's only the beginning. Because here's the actual reality, guys. Businesses don't actually want words. They want revenue. They want more booked calls. They want more sales. They want more people showing up to their webinars. They want more repeat customers. And if the only skill you have is writing, you're just an executor. You're replaceable. But when you bring full stack thinking to the table, when you can look at a funnel, spot the leaks, and just understand your strategy behind the business and optimize that strategy, when you can say stuff like, hey, you've got 2,000 people watching your VSL, but only 5% book calls, let me fix that. Then you can not only write the copy, but also do the strategy, get paid a lot more. And that's when you stop being just another copywriter and become a strategist. That's also why I could charge $4,000 as a beginner while most guys are still out there fighting for $20 an hour gigs on Upwork. All right, step 6, what you can do today to speed run to 4K per month and print money with full stack copywriting. So guys, there you have it. That's how I made 4K in 28 days with full stack copywriting as a complete beginner. Now, if you're getting started, to be honest, don't obsess over making 10 grand a month right now. It just doesn't make any sense. You need to focus on your first 1K, your first client, and just bringing strategy to the table. Because that's what separates the broke freelancers from the guy who can print 4K to 6K on command. Now, if you want to go further and get access to the exact systems I use to print with full stack copywriting, there are things that I literally can't say on YouTube. The client deals, the launch frameworks, the raw numbers that actually allow me to make money with copywriting. And that only goes inside my private newsletter. So if you're serious about making money with copywriting, not just watching another motivational video, and you're actually ready to take action and implement that stuff in your life so that you too can start getting results and printing money with full stack copywriting, then hit the link in the description box down below and join my private email list. That's where I give you the real playbook. No fluff, no screenshot flex, just the exact moves that print money with full stack copywriting. Until then, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.